welcome to the Leadership Exchange, which is Leadership Florida's very first podcast. I'm so excited. My name is Wendy Spencer. I'm the proud president and CEO of Leadership Florida. Thank you for joining us. This Leadership Exchange is series is focused on Leadership Florida investors and sponsors. Today's podcast features the Florida Blue Foundation with Susan Towler, who is the Executive Director of Corporate Social Responsibility and the Florida Blue Foundation. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Wendy, for having me. I'm so excited to talk with you.
It's going to be great. Okay, Susan, our podcast sponsor is Sunshine Ace Hardware Stores. I love me some Ace Hardware.
Love it.
That's my
Love Ace
place.
Hardware. Yeah,
Their motto is, as we all know, and we can sing it, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. I want you to complete this sentence. Florida Blue is the place with.
the mission-driven crew. I love a
Oh,
rhyme.
I,
Love a
I
good
love
rhyme.
that. I love that. I love that. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right. So that's great. I'm really, really excited about that. All right. As succinctly as possible, let's start with a big overview. Please explain and give a high-level overview of who the Florida Blue Foundation is, your 411, so to speak.
Sure.
Size, geographic reach, customer base, mission. Just tell us,
Yeah.
if you're just telling me, explaining me who you are, let me know.
Awesome. The Florida Blue Foundation is the philanthropic arm of Florida Blue, and we are also connected to Guidewell, which is the parent company of Florida Blue. We are so proud to be 25 years old this year, celebrating our silver anniversary as a foundation. Our mission is the same as our company to help people and communities achieve better health. We help about 10 million people a year in the state of Florida. We're the largest healthcare philanthropy in the state, serving all 67 counties and working every day to increase access to affordable health care.
I did not realize you had a presence in all of the states. I mean, all the counties in Florida. That
Absolutely.
is neat. And 25 years. Wow, you must have some fun
Yes,
plans for that. So that's going to be fun. Glad
we
to know
do.
about that. All right, that's a good kind of high level. I want to know what's hot and trending in your field, and specifically, what are you working on now to stay current, fresh, meet your clients' needs, support communities throughout Florida? What are you doing?
Sure. Wendy, it is, if you were looking for a challenging sector and industry that is exciting and changing constantly, healthcare is your place, right? There are so many new things coming on and changes happening all over. But I think one of the things we're really leaning into as a company and a foundation is AI, artificial intelligence, and not just AI like a chat GPT, but just technology in general. We really saw during the pandemic the strength of telehealth and virtual visits. And we want nonprofits to explore that and think about how they can deliver their services and their care to their clients and patients in new and innovative ways. So, a couple of things that we're doing in the business was certainly helping members access to the tools and care in new and different ways using AI, using some of the back office tools for our employees who help our members. But on the foundation side, we're encouraging our nonprofits to think about ways to use AI and new technology. We're even in our grant proposals and our RFPs, a request for proposals, we're saying, hey, if you're thinking about using it, we'll give you some extra points, right? We want to push you to think differently. And that's what's exciting about our industry right now.
I'm so glad you're embracing that and not running for it from it. I think early on, I think the medical profession in general, which you support, was a little reluctant to do like virtual meetings and things
Yes.
like that. And I know with our doctors, my husband and mine, they're embracing it, and it is saving us
Yes.
time, money,
Totally.
everything. So I'm glad to see you're even going beyond in your foundation work and your grantees talking to them about it. That's great. All right, so on the kind of counter to that, what are you seeing as a challenge today? And how are you addressing challenges? Maybe one of your biggest ones or an example.
Yeah. I think in our philanthropy, our biggest challenge is just the changing in the social services sector, right? There's funding, there's not funding, there's new programs, there's not new programs, and really helping our nonprofit partners across the state understand what's happening. One of our strengths, because we are statewide, and it's similar to Leadership Florida, right? I think that's why we're such great partners together is we can convene partners, we can collaborate with folks all across the state. We see, hey, you're doing something in Panama City. They're also doing that in Vero Beach. Let's get you together and talk about how what you're doing and learning from each other. We can connect groups together so that we're facing these challenges today of funding, of the workforce, right? The workforce is changing in our nonprofit sector. And how can we be that builder and that convener, collaborator to bring folks together to talk about that?
I love that. And you're in a unique position to do that, where a lot of funders are a little bit more geographic restricted, and you're not. So you really are. I know you and your team, you're all over the state. I mean, I
Yeah.
see your social media, you're everywhere. I never know
Yeah,
where
we
you're
are.
going to be. But that's important to be that connector. And I'm
It
glad you're
is.
addressing it that way.
It
All
is.
right, I want to shift to tell us what it's like to work for Florida Blue Foundation. Florida Blue is an institution. Tell me
Ah,
about the employer aspect. I mean, what's the
ah,
environment
yeah.
like?
We have an amazing environment. It starts with our mission, right? Help people in communities achieve better health. That is the GuideWell mission, right? And it filters all the way through our various companies and all of our programs. It starts with our company's values. It's rubber rice, I always say. It's respect, imagination, integrity, inclusion, courage, excellence. All of us at Florida Blue and Guidewell and the foundation live that out every day. It's what leads our business decisions. It's what leads our philanthropy. Our employees are so engaged in their communities. We launched a new program called Guidewell Gives. That's our volunteer program. How do our employees show up with their time, their talent, their treasure to impact the community and achieve that mission? We are somewhat remote still. We've learned to work where we're best, and our employees have embraced that. And we love, like you said, being in the community and being local. Because at the end of the day, all healthcare is local, right? And so it's really important that our employees are scattered across the state, delivering the best care and solutions for both our members and our communities.
That's a really good description, and I can tell a little bit about the employer, Florida Blue Foundation, through your teammates and
Yeah.
your colleagues around the state. I've met so many of them, and to a person, they are genuine. They care about community.
Yes.
They give back time, talent,
Yes.
energy, resources,
Yeah.
and I think that says a lot because of who you choose and who you lift up with your teammates. It says a lot about the employer
Yeah.
aspect as well because it comes through and everybody's so positive and such giving and
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
great
it
environment.
starts at the top, Wendy, right? And I mean, you're a great demonstration of that and at Leadership Florida. Um, the culture starts at the top, and our leaders set the tone for how they expect us to treat one another, to
Hmm.
treat our members, to treat our stakeholders, and to treat the community. And you're absolutely right. You come here, you kind of drink the blue Kool-Aid. I often say our blood bleeds blue
I love that.
because when you come here and you embrace it and you really go in full on. It's an incredible place to work. We always win the, Forbes best place to work and best place to work for women or
Hey, that's
disabilities.
no small
It's
thing.
fantastic, right? We have a high employee engagement score on our annual employee survey. And again, that just translates into how we can turn that around to deliver the best care for our members.
That's great. And I witness it, so I'm your
Okay.
witness on that. It's
Awesome.
great. All right, I want to shift a little bit, just to skosh, just a little bit to Leadership Florida. You are and have been an investor in Leadership Florida for years and years and years. Why is it important for Florida Blue to invest in leaders and leadership across the state? Why do you do this?
Yeah. Well, I often say Leadership Florida is multi-partisan, right? It's not about one side or the other. It's about all of us coming together to collaborate, to network, and to build relationships. That's kind of what I just said about Florida Blue, right? So we have a very symbiotic relationship and mission together. We want folks who are leaders, up and coming leaders in all sectors, to have this kind of common set of experiences, common set of facts and values. Not that you're going to go work on an issue and solve it, but you're going to connect people who then go do that. And
Right.
that, right? And that's what I love about having our employees engaged with Leadership Florida, is because then, like I said, you're going to meet people from all across the state. The one thing that I love about Leadership Florida, it's not so much about the company, is you make adult friends who you would have never met anywhere else. It's that but for Leadership Florida experience that brings the richness to the lives of those who participate. And then it, right, bursts out of you, right, and carries forward into your job, into your family, into your local community.
Well, that is a great statement of your commitment and your team, your colleagues, they invest their time. It's just great to see. You've been the chair of Leadership Florida Board. You've served in many roles. Probably is not a role you haven't served in, quite frankly. And I'm so glad you stay involved. And then you're just a really good participant too. You show up for
Oh,
events and
yeah.
things, our annual meeting and others. So it's really, really great to have you engaged and all your colleagues at Florida Blue that have the opportunity to
Thanks.
go through Leadership Florida.
Yeah.
Susan, this has been a fantastic opportunity to learn a little bit more about the Florida Blue Foundation, your thoughts about your support for Leadership Florida, but more importantly, about what you're doing there at the foundation. I'm so grateful that I had the time with you today. Thank you so much
Oh, Wendy, thank
for
you.
participating in our Leadership Exchange, hosted by
Yeah.
Leadership Florida and sponsored by Ace Sunshine Ace Hardwares. Thank you,
Oh,
Susan,
love
so
it.
very much.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. It was a pleasure.
What a great opportunity I just had speaking with Susan Towler, the executive director of the Florida Blue Foundation. She is a real gem for this state. And I learned a lot. They're 25 years they've been in the foundation, which I had no idea. They're serving all 67 counties. Susan is a member of Leadership Florida Class 22, and she is from the Northeast region, proudly representing the Jacksonville area. She is a delight, past board chair as well. Thank you so much for joining the Leadership Exchange, hosted by Leadership Florida and sponsored by Sunshine Ace Hardware. We hope you'll join us again soon.